from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Midnight in the Marshaverse, starring Marsha Warfield and her two sons, Stephen Roberts and Skillz Hudson, as the problem child.
Good morning. Welcome to Midnight in the Marshaverse from a slightly different location, as you can see if you've been following along with us. I'm on the road. I'm actually in Burbank doing an episode of Night Court. Yay! I'm so happy about that. And my guest tonight, I'm so excited to have Lacretta with us, and we're going to talk to her a little later. Right now, we're going to talk about, of course, our cannabis and cognac for those of you who want to relax, have a little adult refreshment as we go along. If you just want a cup of coffee, or you just want to drink some water, or you want to eat a piece of chicken, it's your business. Do what the heck you like, whatever helps you make it through the night. For me, I have, since I'm on the road and I can't smoke anything in the hotel room, they frown on that and charge you a whole lot of money if you get busted with that. So what I have is a gummy, cherry blast gummy that I will have. I think I have half of it because it's been a long day. It's just enough to take the edge off, you know. And I also have some room service Remy. It's supposed to be Remy. We have to take their word for it. And it came from room service. Now I'm going to take a sip. Tastes like Remy. Okay, so I'm going to have this gummy, but what we're going to do now is talk about a subject that's been on my mind. You know, when I talk about comediosophy, these are the things that are in my life, in my space, in my headspace, that kind of contribute to my point of view. Because I don't really have an act. I have a point of view. That's Remy. I have a point of view, and on this topic, I see a lot of people online talking about how this thing or that thing destroyed the Black family. And usually, when they're saying that, they're talking about this notion that the traditional Black family is a nuclear family, you know, mom, dad, 2.5 kids, a station wagon, and a dog with shaggy fur. But the funny thing about that is that concept didn't exist until the 50s, the 40s and 50s, the nuclear age. And so the word nuclear kind of gives you the hint that this is a relatively recent uh, development in the scheme of things. Traditional families, especially if you use the biblical definition, all over the place. They're not one man, one woman, and a suburban tract home. They are patriarchal tribes. They are or matriarchal tribes. Um, and during slavery, it must have been almost impossible in America to form a permanent family unit of the kind that we're all supposed to lament and go back to. So, where did this come from? The notion of the Black family and the nuclear family and all, and the destruction is a backlash of white supremacy against progress, against civil rights, against the outspokenness of Black women. And it blames Black women, the outspoken, angry Black woman, for destroying her family and not keeping her traditional role, which is subservient to the male breadwinner. Well, this has never really been the makeup. And when I in the research I've done in West African family units, uh, the there was more balance between male and female, and the reverence for women, since they are life givers. I find this pretty standard throughout tribal communities, and so this notion that progress destroyed the black family is to keep you from progressing. And you have to stop looking for ways for the white power structure, as we called it in the 70s, to limit your advancement and try to make you conform to a very narrow definition of what a family should be. Your family is fine. In fact, when I was growing up in Chicago, a lot of people lived far more communally than we know. There were whole entire families would buy a building and have different apartments for each each unit, whatever that may be. And those kinds of neighborhoods and properties afforded people a lifestyle they otherwise couldn't have. You didn't have to have babysitters because there was somebody home. You didn't have to have all of the everybody had didn't have to cook. Somebody would cook, and everybody would eat. So when we talk about what destroyed the black family, white supremacy destroyed the black family because it tried to condense it into this narrow definition that never applied before. So we have to start thinking more from the point of view that someone else benefits from you believing that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's that this system wants you to assimilate so that if you do, you will know your place, which is subservient to the white power structure. All right, I have said my militant piece, Black Power, and now it's time to move along. And so I want to tell you that our show, as always, is brought to you by Aunt Karen's Suburban Seasonings. This week, it's Aunt Karen's Suburban Seasonings, where it's fluffy Haitian fouillon tacos in a can. Aunt Karen knows that the only thing traditional suburban busybodies love more than clutching her purse in an elevator with a strapping young black man is adapting trendy and exotic foreign recipes to her family's gluten-free dietary taste. So she's bringing her version of Fox News approved line of bogus border bites. Why ought to take out or suffer through another amazing Appalachian Appetites Roadkill Ragu TV dinner when you can enjoy the taste of your neighborhood immigrants' pets, just like they would make if they were anything like you imagine and didn't use spices? And don't worry, Fluffy's fine. No actual pets aren't harmed for Aunt Karen's recipes, unless you count chickens. So get these heat and serve Haitian chicken fouillon finger foods at your nearest Maga Mart and share your foreign fear flair. And remember, Aunt Karen's Suburban Seasonings foods are so good for you and yours, your neighbors might want to eat your cat. Okay, here we go. It's time to move on to the part of the show I know I came for, and I think we all came for. I'm going to introduce a lady I met on Night Court when they were gracious enough to bring me back to the reboot of the show. I've been a fan of the concept since the beginning. I'm a fan of the show the way it is, and being on the show, it brings back memories of the first time around, where there was what made it special was the camaraderie and the family atmosphere of the Night Court set. and that still exists. And the lady who plays the bailiff, um, I love what she's done with the role. I love that she's taken it in her direction and is doing her thing. And I am just so happy that she stayed up late tonight to join us. Won't you please say hello to Lacretta? Hey, Lacretta,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. You feeling okay? You ready to go?
I'm feeling great. I'm ready to go. Let me see if I can. There we go. Center myself a little bit better there.
It's okay. We'll find you.
Okay.
So, I have my little cannabis and cognac. What are you drinking on?
hmm Tonight's libation is Johnny Walker Black and Ginger Ale.
Okay, go
Mhm.
ahead, girl. Where'd you pick that up? Where did you get old enough? Where were you when you got old enough to drink?
So, well, old enough legally or old enough to have my first?
Hey, it's your
I don't think a
story.
lot of people know this. So I remember Crown Royal being my first brown liquor.
Okay.
I feel like I was in elementary school somewhere. I was young when that happened.
Okay, girl.
But I snuck it. It wasn't offered to me. I snuck it because I wanted to see what it tastes like, and I did not like it. I
Okay.
didn't like it. And then my 21st birthday was spent in Germany, and my intention, because we got there in February, was to wait until my birthday to drink.
Okay.
But in Germany, you can buy alcohol and not be 21. So I didn't make it. I didn't make it to my birthday.
Okay.
But we had a great time. And then I got into scotch maybe in my 30s. So I like nice peaty, dark, earthy whiskeys and scotches. So I really like Lefroy. And at some point I want to go and tour their distilleries. I love a distillery tour. But for the most part, I get Johnny Walker Black or Johnny Walker Double Black. Those are my
Okay.
favorites.
Well, now you opened up a door. Why were you in Germany?
Okay. So I was in Germany for 6 months. Growing up in Kansas City, I was a part of the Kansas City's Playwrights Roundtable because I wanted to be a playwright. And so I met a young lady who put together I guess like an exchange program. It was called Ocean Jump. So she brought, oh gosh, maybe 8 of us to Dresden, Germany. So on the former East Side, and we worked alongside of actors because the way that it's set up there is that the if you go on the proper path to become an actor, and depends on how you come up through the school system, determines where you then can further specialize.
Hmm?
So, and it's also state funded. So actors are paid, I don't know what their wages are, but they're paid through the government. It's basically a government job. So we worked with them and some German playwrights, and basically we're going to present a night of theater from both the American and the German perspective.
And you did that for 6 months.
Mhm.
How'd it go?
Uh, it didn't go well. It didn't go as intentioned. I think we were on different pages. They wanted more of a stereotype, and we were coming from more of a slice of life, individual voices kind of
Yeah.
things. And then when we found out how it was being advertised, it was like, how free does a Native American feel in Germany? How does the Jewish girl feel oppressed in the former Third Reich? Oh no, it was how does a Native American feel when his drums are unanswered? And then all of us were like, well, that's not really what we wrote about. I wrote about a relationship with a father and a daughter. People wrote about, oh, these two people met and they fell in love in a cafe. Like, we didn't write about that kind of experience because it was open to whatever we wanted to, and none of us felt like we were the authority to
Right.
write on an entire culture. So that's not what we did. And then, it kind of fell apart from there, sadly. I'm sorry, you see my flies. I have 2 flies that are in here and they're loving these lights right now.
Okay.
So please forgive my
I'm sure
giant
they're
flies.
bothering you more than they are bothering us. So
Okay, good.
don't worry about it. But now, Germany aside, because
Uh-huh.
from there, was that the start of your show business? Uh,
No.
here?
I got a check to act since I was 14. And I started at the Children's Theater, Coterie Theater in Kansas City. And the thing about it, like being a part of that round table, we would read each other's scripts. Uh, and the facilitator came up to me later and he was like, Lacretta, you should really audition for the Coterie Theater. Every summer they do this and during the school year. And I had gone and seen plays during the school year that the school would take me to. And I was like, I'm gonna be a writer. And he was like, yeah, Lacretta, you should really audition for the Coterie Theater. I was like, okay, fine. And I did it. And I'm glad that I did because I wasn't a great writer at that
Yeah.
time. I'm definitely better now.
Now,
But
Kansas City, Kansas, or
Missouri, that's where the
sure.
jazz and the barbecue comes from.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it smells like barbecue when you're in the air. When
Yes.
I
When
went
you
to
are
Kansas
like,
City, I could smell it from the air. I'm like, what the hell? Everything is barbecue, but I loved it and it was a great experience. But growing up in
yay.
Kansas City, and when was this?
In the 90s.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
baby. Oh goodness.
Slightly, yeah.
Um, growing up in Kansas City, were you like in affluent area, or as I call upper ghetto, or the way I see it? Because in the Black community, we all know that everybody's all together. So
Mhm.
we don't have different classes. They're not talking about different classes so we have like ghetto and upper ghetto and lower ghetto and country
Mhm.
and hood. And so which one of those areas kind of describe how you grew up?
The hood.
You were
I
hood.
grew up in the projects. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
With two
But
parents?
listen, no, one parent, my mother.
All right.
But we were I guess we were upper hood because we were on the main street. We
Okay.
started like in the middle of the hood. And then my mother worked in a hospital. She worked labor and delivery. She also worked in intensive care. And so we were in a different tax bracket, which put us on the front because
Okay.
she took care of the property. So that's what you saw from the main street, and then it just got progressively worse as it went away deep in the
Right.
blocks.
Were they
Um,
row houses or the high rises?
yeah, so this was row houses.
Okay.
Um, there were duplexes, so we had a duplex, and so there were duplexes in the front and a few on the side, and then the rest of them were just maybe 4 stories high. So it
Right.
wasn't a huge project. I don't think we really have, if they maybe now, but I don't think we really had high rises the way they have like in the Bronx,
Right.
um, of just stacking people on top of each other. But we definitely had different pockets of projects throughout the city.
Okay. So now
Yeah.
you started acting. What would you consider your big break?
Ooh. So for me, I'd have to say it was a combination of things. So if I'm looking at my stage career, I think Book of Mormon was my big break. I was doing the first national tour. I had auditioned for it 7 times. I was on the road for something else. And it's funny, I was on the road for Buddy Holly, non-union. Was it non-union? No, it had to be equity, but we were out of Canada. It was kind of sketchy what we were doing, but my checks cleared, so I didn't really care.
Okay.
But so I was actually in Salt Lake City on my way to Chicago when my agent gave me the call and said, "Yeah, they're gonna cast you, and they cast you off of your video." And I was like, "Well, which video? Was it good? Do we need to brush it up? Because I don't remember which one they taped. Was it the first one? Was it the 7th one? I don't know." He's like, "Don't worry about it. You booked it." So we were on our way to Chicago, And I was already going to meet up with a friend of mine who happened to be in the first national tour at that time. So I wanted to, give him the news that I was going to be like his show sister. But he already knew because the wardrobe person had already talked to him and told him and spilled the beans, but we still had a good time. But I hadn't seen it. So they hooked me up with tickets to see it. And I knew what my track was and I knew her. So I followed her throughout. And then we got to the pageant. And I don't know if you've seen Book of Mormon.
No, I
but there's
haven't.
it was a very much a go forth and prosper and procreate and repopulate the earth. So in the middle of this pageant, there's like pairings of different things happening. And I had to track my track to see. I said, okay, I'm okay with doing that. Okay, yeah, I'm okay with doing that. Okay, this is not so bad. My track wasn't so bad, but I saw some things that I was not prepared for. But
Okay.
at the end of the day, to be perfectly honest, Book of Mormon fell at a time of my life when my mother had passed away the year before. And I was never angry with God about that situation because I felt like I had the time to close that chapter in our lives. But I did tell him, this is my world. This is all that I've known. This is the parent that I've known. And I'm not going to be happy. And I'm not going to be in a place where I'm going to talk to you for a while. I'm coming back because Christianity is what I like and what works for me, but I might not talk to you for a while. And
Yeah.
so, that transition happened. And I also saw the worst in some people and some people that are called family. And, I had to process all of that and got to the other side. So then looking at Book of Mormon, like that first night when I premiered, I just wept after. And people were like, oh my God, are you okay? Is it all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm so happy. And they were like, okay, okay. But just looking at their journey, the Ugandans, you meet them and they are so over it. They're over life. They've all these people have come out to tell them what they should believe, but they never said it in a way that they could understand. And the Ugandans are not stupid, but they don't need the things that these Westerners, these foreigners tell them that they need. And they're like, no, but this is how we live. And this one guy, this quirky weird dude, comes in and sees that these words are not landing with these people, and so he puts it in a language that they can understand, in a way that they can apply this to their lives. So we have these people who are dejected, who are being murdered, who are being raped, who are contracting AIDS, who are leaving children behind, who are not nourished and they're thirsty. And then at the end of the show, they've found something higher than themselves. And so to apply that to my own life, like I understand people being angry with God. That was not what happened with me. But then I understand then finding him again for yourself. And I was like, it's perfect. It's perfect. So I was able to process a lot of that grief and pain and sorrow with that show, 8 shows a week.
Performing is cathartic and it's therapeutic for those of us who do it. Now, but you have other interests that
Yes.
I don't know that everybody knows. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I see you talking about it on social media. You cosplay?
I do a little cosplay. I'm just a fan of just like, this is some of the more tame things, but I don't have anything to show for it. But yeah, y'all can Google me. You see some pictures online. And then I am a huge video game fan. So this is like one of, oh gosh, about 7 different controllers that I have. And then I stream on Twitch. So it's been great. I started that during the pandemic and I have a nice community of friends. There are people who are coming up for TwitchCon, which is going to be in San Diego. I'm not going to be able to go because I'm going to be plumb tuckered out from shooting 3 episodes in a row and getting to spend time with Marsha. But a couple of people are going to come up to LA, so I'll get to see them then.
You also sing.
Yeah.
And you're going to be singing somewhere soon.
I hope so. I hope we can get together. We're kind of 2 ships passing as far as communicating is concerned. So I'm hoping that it comes together. But for my 3rd anniversary on Twitch, 6 months too late, I do like a concert for them, and I'll sing like 10 or 12 songs. But at some point, the Glam Squad, they want me to sing somewhere live and do a little concert for them. So that should
No,
happen here.
you
Mhm.
you singing hip hop, Cardi B, WAP,
I was a
maybe.
rapper in high school and I left that behind.
Okay,
I
you
know
do
my strength.
standards,
Yeah, I
or
love a jazz standard.
okay. Well, I
Yeah.
would love to hear you sing. I'd love to come support you
Yeah.
whenever possible. I probably have a million more questions for you, but I do want to ask you before I bring out my bad boy sons. Night Court. What was that like getting that role, and how did you make the decisions and choices you did?
So as it was like as soon as I read the sides, I was like, yeah, I want this. I want this. I don't know how I'm gonna get it because I don't know who all they're asking to come in and read for her, but I'm gonna do my best. And for me, what I love about her is she's able to say things in the moment, and it's can be so off the cuff sometimes, but it also makes perfect sense. Like, I wish that I didn't have to use so many filters in the way that I talk to people. But there are a lot of preconceived notions, and there are, self-preservation things that people feel like they need to say. So I don't want to be labeled the angry black woman, so I have to say things in a different way. It's like I knew a woman named Gillian, and the way that she was a white lady, she could correct someone about her name in an aggressive way, and they'd be like, "Okay, I can't do that." People get defensive. People tell me that it's spelled wrong. People tell me that my mama spelled it wrong. And so it's just interesting in that regard. But getting back to the conversation, like, it was nice that it happened over the pandemic and before we were having to go in, because I was able to do everything at home. So I had a sanctuary, I had safety, and my appetite was off. So I was like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to throw some chicken thighs in the air fryer because you'll be ravenous when it's all done. And so there was one scene where we were talking about food, and I had the chicken was wafting down the hallway into the room where I was having my final callback. So that was pretty cool. But also, like, I watch a lot of stuff, and I've been watching like British comedy, and I've been watching older comedy. Here I am, 8 years old, but I'm watching Ozzie and Harriet. I'm watching Bonanza. I'm watching things that were um I should have been watching in some instances, but it informed
Like
so much
Night
of my
Court.
comedy. Yeah. Including Night Court. But that's where that timing comes from. I was fascinated with all of that stuff, and they're they were just like, why are you saying things the way that you're saying? I was like, oh, because I watched what is it? The Murder on the Orient Express, and that's the way that the princess said it.
Yeah.
So it just
But
kind of creeped
you
in.
you bring something to the role that I don't know that we've seen a lot, and that's joy.
Yeah.
You are not an angry black woman. You are exuberant and enthusiastic and upbeat. And I don't know that we've been allowed that space
Hmm.
as black women. That we always
Hmm.
had to have some sort of grievance, some sort of authority, that we just
Hmm.
take our authority and have an attitude. And you don't bring that. And
Yeah.
at the same time, you are a bailiff. You are in control. But you have a happiness and a light that is really, really refreshing to see. And I
Oh, so
love
good.
that you made those choices and that you are doing that way. And I
Yeah.
again thank you so much for being here. We found out stuff about you I ain't know, and so I'm happy to share that with the audience, and I'm happy to share you with my sons. We
Oh.
I met them when I was doing a residency at the LA Comedy Club,
Hmm.
and they were the opening act and feature, and we just clicked.
Wow.
And they started calling me Ma, and I
Yeah.
started ignoring them, just like in a real family. And so they're here with me tonight, like the always. And so I want you to meet my oldest son, the one who looks just like me. And he's a very funny man, and he has the courage to perform in his underwear. So
Wow.
say hello to my oldest son, Stephen Roberts.
Hi,
Hi, Stephen.
Steven.
Hi, Lacretta. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you.
Nice to
Oh,
meet you.
Yeah,
just
nice to meet you too.
gonna ask you something really profound in just a minute, but first you
Okay.
gotta meet my baby boy, my problem child. I love him madly. He is adorable and sweet, and I'm so happy that he calls Ma all the time. Ma. Anyway, say hello to Skillz Hudson. Hey,
Hi,
Hey,
boo.
Skill.
hey, Lacretta. Let me see if I'm
How
saying
you
this right. Hey,
doing?
Lacretta.
That's right.
Nicoke? Yeah.
Nicole.
Oh, I didn't say it right. I didn't say it
I
right.
don't know.
Oh, I thought
We're
that was
trying to
your
get
middle.
that fixed.
I, I tried to Google it and I thought that was how you pronounce
Okay.
Nicole, but for some reason, it has been typed that way, and we've been reaching out to people to fix that. But you know what? It's keeping me safe because I don't know what happened with this young man, but there was a young man, and he was very fixated on what my last name is. I don't use it. I don't need it. I mean, how many Lacretas do you know? And then one day he was like, I found out what your last name is. And I was like, oh, okay, what is it? Nicoke.
Uh-uh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's
That
what it
works.
is. Yeah. But
Okay,
that's not
so
what it is, friend.
sons, you have questions? You anything you want to know? Anything you want to tell? Lacreta,
Okay,
we have Stephen. Jump right in there.
I have a show and tell item that goes along with my question. So give me just 1 second.
Oh.
I told you he likes performing in his underwear.
Me and my friends do cosplay also.
Uh-huh.
What is your favorite cosplay costume so far?
Oh gosh. I would say the Marie Antoinette look that I did.
Ooh,
One of our wig ladies gave me a powdered wig,
uh-huh.
and it just so happens to be one that Margot Robbie wore in a movie. And then I got a French whatever Rococo. I don't remember what decade it came from. It was proper. They matched
Right.
dress,
Oh,
and they
wow.
had all the little bows and all the little buttons, and I sang a concert for my Twitch
Oh,
fans.
that's so cool.
Yeah, what was
Okay.
yours?
Okay, so here I want you to guess. I want to see if you can tell. This is we're working on it right now. It's in its
Okay.
first layer of foam. So I want to see if you can tell what it is.
Oh, please don't be too obscure. I don't know.
Man,
Five Nights at Freddy's.
I haven't seen. Ooh. Oh, you're gonna be one of the animatronics.
Yeah, we're gonna do all four of them.
Oh,
And
very cool.
we're going to stand in the lobby of the next con in October and just be still with
Yes.
and then one of our friends is dressing in the docent outfit, and we're gonna
Okay.
every time he turns around, we're gonna start creeping up, and then people can come up and take pictures. So
Very nice. I
this
love
is
it.
going to be my favorite.
okay. Well,
Ooh.
some of us have no
Wow.
flipping idea what you're talking about, but it sounds really interesting, and it's so refreshing that you're both so into that.
Yeah.
I
Still,
like costumes ever since I was a kid.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's nice it's fun to dress up. I mean, come
It
on.
is.
Just to let go and to put something else on and be something else for a little while. It's really nice.
Well, I have to try that sometime. Skills.
All right. Well, already I love your acting and everything and your character on Night Court. But when I did some more research about you to find out that you was a gamer, that really surprised me. And then to watch some of your streaming and to see like you're a real gamer. You
Oh
talk
yeah.
it and everything. You be in there. Fallout 4, Call of
Yes.
Duty. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Then you come on the stream tonight in the gamer chair. You're a professional. You know what I'm
I'm a
saying?
professional.
Yeah. So that was cool to find out and that you do that. So I wanted to ask the question I wanted to ask you is what's the most hours that you played and what game?
Oh gosh, I'd have to look, but I think what I've played the most lately is Fallout 76, which I hated when it first dropped. It was not a good game. Because I loved Fallout 4 so much. Like I like story-driven games. And so with Fallout 4, the story was so compelling because these bombs drop.
Yeah.
This woman takes her family down into this bunker. She wakes up. Well, I play as a woman. You can play as a man. She wakes up and there are people like taking her child out of her husband's arms. They kill the husband. They take her baby, and then they freeze her. And then she wakes up, and it's like 200 years in the future. And she's just trying to find her son and find out what happened with her son. And there's all these different factions that you could join. We've got the Minuteman, we've got the Railroad, which I didn't find them until later, but they wasn't doing what our railroad did. So I ended up shooting them. And then you have the Brotherhood of Steel, who is trying to keep everything from getting too animated, too computer driven. Like they don't want any technology because this is what happened when the bombs dropped in the first place, is we got ahead of ourselves with our technology. So they're trying to destroy it. And then there's another faction that is trying to heal the earth because everything is radiated, but they want to do that with technology. So everyone is in odds with each other, and she's just trying to find her son. So she doesn't really care what's going on. And then, what happens. But like, when 76 dropped, I'm like, I don't care about these people. Like, why am I looking for my captain? Like, we're not even related. So I wasn't invested then, but they've done so much to the game. Now you can go to like Atlantic City. Now you can go to different places. Yeah. So I'm like, I just hit level 50, but I watch people on stream who are like in the hundreds somewhere. But what I love about their community is that they're so helpful, because in the game, a player can't kill another player. And if they do, then the entire lobby goes and hunts that person down to avenge you. So I love that about the game, because I don't like playing games with other people.
And I like, there's one particular one I was watching you streaming, and when you were saying, you was like, I'm gonna avenge you. I'm gonna avenge you. I'm going to avenge you. And then it got to you. He was like, oh, I'm about to get killed. Somebody avenge me.
I'm out of bullets. I have to tell about paying attention to my bullet count. And so then I get in a tough situation because I'm out and I don't know how to play on God.
It's like in a whole different world than I understand. I haven't played any video games since Gabriel Knight back in the 90s. And
who's Gabriel Knight?
Was a really cool game. He was a shadow hunter. He would, and it took place, the original one, in New Orleans, where he was looking for the evil voodoo queen. And
whoa,
it was a really good game, and it was written by a woman, and there were 3 different editions. And I played them all. And then she stopped making the game. And so I was stuck with The Sims. And then they got boring. And so I don't Sims anymore. So I don't know anything about the games, shoot 'em up games and stuff. But I am excited by your excitement and involvement. It's fun to watch. Anyway, thank you, Lacretta. And I appreciate you being here. This has been so much fun.
Yes.
And I look forward to seeing you in the morning, all sleepy-eyed. I will be all sleepy and droopy-tailed, but it was very much worth it to spend this
Thank you for having me. I had fun.
Please, anytime, come back.
I will.
All right, say goodbye, guys. Bye, Lacretta.
Thank you.
Bye.
So, like many people, I grocery shop on a weekly basis, and I like to shop at Winco uh, for several reasons, including the fact that it is close to my house and they have good sales and things on groceries. What I don't like about it is that because they have such good sales, everybody goes there and people really take advantage of everything. And one of my biggest pet peeves is when people put something somewhere else in the grocery store. Now, listen, you know you can't afford that, so you put it back. Go put it back to where it was. If you can't, or if it's the wrong thing, but you know, every once in a while you'll see this. Not at this Winco. This Winco has I don't even know how they do it. There is like batteries in the frozen pizza section, and there was half-eaten sushi in a plastic container in the cookie section, and somebody took, paper plates and they put them in the corn in the produce section. It's like, how does this even happen? Especially if the produce is at the front of the grocery store, you go through that first. You had to go all the way over to the paper plates and then bring them all the way the F back and put them in the corn section. I mean, really? It doesn't prevent me from buying what I need. It doesn't prevent me, but I feel sorry for the people who have to put all that shit back. I do. Now, what we're all familiar with is being in the impulse aisle in line to go check out, and you got the gum and the candy and the whatnots and all of that kind of stuff. But really, you want to put the soy sauce in the Reese's Pieces? Is that really fair? No, they have to clean that shit up. Go put your soy sauce back where it belongs, in the soda aisle, apparently.
There you go. I feel your pain, and I feel that you feel your pain. Is radiating through the phone. Thank you, Skillz.
First, I like to say, I'm that person that I
Of course
will.
you are. Yes, you are.
will
You
You
are
don't
that
put your
person.
cart back either, do you?
No, I'm not, because
No.
I feel like people they have jobs to do that. It ain't like this is extra credit work I'm putting on for them to do. This is stuff a
So,
part of their job to do. So if I get in the line and I can afford it. I just might have changed my mind. That's just like if you about to get some pussy and you smell it and it smell wrong. You know what? I'm gonna change my mind.
yeah, but where
Sorry,
are you
I'm
going to
not
put the pussy? Where are you going to put it?
I'm gonna put it out my bed. I'm gonna put it out my bed
Okay.
because now
Well,
you sitting up my covers.
Okay, let
But
me
thank
ask
you
you a
so
question
much.
about your cart. When you take the cart out, because you don't drive, so you go home with your groceries,
excuse me.
correct?
We don't have to put that business in the
I'm
street. Go
sorry.
ahead.
So anyway, you have your groceries and they're in the cart. You drive. Do you push the cart all the way to the sidewalk and then leave the cart there at the sidewalk for somebody to walk all the way out and get it?
No,
That's a
I
yes.
leave it on. I leave it where because I walk it to where it stopped. Where in the
Yes. That
to the
we're
end of the
saying the
park
same thing.
because if my bag, it's supposed to help me. So I'm gonna walk to the end, like in Color Purple, and like me and you must never part. And then I part and I go
And this
with
is
my
why
bag.
we shouldn't let men shop.
1,000. Well, my guy Dave found 1,000 bottles of baby oil for Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? In the indictment, they went arrested him today. Oh man, 1,000 bottles. First of all, the people that's in charge of have to, log the evidence to have to, you know what I'm saying? I bet you they was talking shit internally. This 1,000. How many more you got? You bringing bottles out, shit oily, you know what I'm saying? Some of the bottles closed, full.
So the weapons
Shit,
and stuff didn't bother you. The baby oil.
just the baby. Cause that much, you know what I'm saying? And then they don't labeled it. You know what I'm saying? Freak offs, the freak offs. You know what I'm saying? You know how many shirts and shit about to jump off now? You know what I'm saying? You going to the freak off the new? No, it's not like the Diddy one. We just doing it. You know what I'm saying? You don't take off your clothes though. You know what I'm saying? But freak offs, they having these freak offs, not like Freaknik, different, but freak offs. And but it kept coming back to the baby oil. And the two, they found that much in his two locations, the Miami and the New York home, 1,000. Which home had the most baby oil? You know what I'm saying? Which
Okay,
one?
I'm a grown woman, and I've seen a lot of things. I've never needed baby oil. What the fuck is the baby oil for? What the fuck?
Because he was going in back doors too. He
There's
had
a
to
So he
lot
used
loosen
of
it up.
so he used
lubricants
that for
used.
lube?
Huh?
He used it for lube?
Oh, see, well, I don't see. Yeah, I might be undereducated in that situation.
I mean, there are many better, way
That's what I
better
was thinking. What
sources.
they
In the movie The Last Tango in Paris, they used butter for that.
But I'm saying is, Mom, what is they using that much oil for? That's probably why they had so
That's what
much,
I want to know.
because they trying to slip it up. They
I
wasn't in
mean,
there having. They wasn't in there doing like for the what you call it when they doing the pose offs, and they, you know what I'm saying, for
yeah,
um
for wrestling or bodybuilding,
yes,
they
yes,
use.
they wasn't doing that. They was working it in them crevices.
But baby
Okay,
oil, I mean, that brings to mind some very strange images
That's
to
why it
me.
was a freak off, man.
like
Okay,
wrestling,
They
like
said they was
wrestling.
giving IVs, man. They was giving IVs. People were so uh woe out, and they was
okay.
giving people IVs.
IVs of what? Baby oil?
No, IVs of, to get your energy back up, because
Saline.
you don't
Saline,
been woe
it's a
out.
regular bag of saline just to
Okay.
Yeah,
rehydrate.
yeah, to
Well,
hydrate you, because you've been inhydrated.
okay. See, I grew up with Masters and Johnson and key parties and stuff like
Yes,
that, and it was a different kind of thing. It was more like buff your neighbor, switch
but
partners kind of stuff.
but
It was
think about it. Think about it. You got this big party going on, a freak off, then you get an inflatable pool and you pour baby oil in the pool and everybody gets in. And so
ah
everybody's sleamy and slimy. And you maybe even you like when you got a slip and slide in your living room and you put baby oil to keep it going because you don't want water in the house. I mean,
slip and
I've
slide
seen
and
all
the
this.
freak Nick is a very descriptive ad.
Yeah, freak off.
Okay, that's an interesting conversation. My rant is really nothing like either of those. My rant is about potato chip bags. I have a problem with these impossible to open potato chip bags. I don't understand why you have to hermetically seal the potato chip bag like there's gold in there. When I want potato chips, I don't want to wrestle the fucking bag. I don't want to and some of them are sealed so tight you can't pull them apart. You have to use the little tear thing, and that's fucked up because it's not in the middle, it's on the
Yeah.
side, and then you have to, instead of the bag opening this way, it opens like that. And nobody wants to eat potato chips out of a bag boat. It's just not
Bag
good.
boat.
I like potato chips way more than most people. When I was a little girl, my mother left to be with my father when he was in the service, and she was pregnant, and so she left Chicago and left me with my grandmother. And my aunt would come by and give me. I was 2 years old. She would give me a big Jay's potato chip can
Oh,
of potato chips and tell me I didn't have to share them. And I, to this day,
Oh,
love potato chips inordinately. So I could open the flipping can, even though I was a little 2-year-old girl trying to get the can
Aw.
open. But I have spent hours. In fact, I don't even try to open potato chip bags anymore. I just go immediately to the scissors because you can even use your teeth. It'll fuck you be away. And it might be to try to curb my appetite, but it just makes me hungry. I work up an appetite trying to open the damn bag. And when you high, you don't really have the energy or the will. It's like, oh, but you really want the potato chip, but then,
Okay,
but
have you ever like had a potato chip bag that you couldn't open and you were like in a hotel and you didn't have a device to cut so you go to the nail clippers and use nail clippers to open the damn bag? I've done that many times.
What?
I've never tried nail clippers. I go straight for the butcher knife.
Damn.
But if you don't have a knife, like you're in a hotel.
In a hotel, well, then you can bash the thing or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's my rant. And I wanted to do
Why
something.
he froze? Look, why
What?
he freeze? He
We're back.
froze. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you're
But
back.
you
Okay.
froze like
Like you really couldn't get the bag open. But I wanted to do something different this week.
Hold on. Skillz, you're not frozen. There's a fan going on behind you.
damn, I forgot.
That wasn't bubble like that. The man's high. He's having a salmon overdose. Yeah, anyway, I want to know your favorite song, and I want you to sing it or rap it.
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. I'm from a black cause I'm brown. That's all part of it.
Well, thank you so much for that line of your favorite song. I appreciate that. Stephen,
Help me off guard.
I know. That was the whole point. That's my whole purpose in life, to catch you off guard. Stephen?
Okay, this is easy for me.
Okay.
It's complicated by Poi Dog Pondering. You ready?
Okay.
Here we go. Want to get it right this time. 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 Complicated. It's all right. Well, sorrow is an angel that comes to you in blue light and shows you what is wrong just to see if you'll set it right. And I fucked up so many times in my life that I want to get it right this time. 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 Oh, tell me something, someone, and help me get it right. Or hit me over the head, box me up, and say goodnight. I can't stand to see myself go through the motions that bring me back into the same old set of motions. Want to get it right this time. Want to get it right this time. Want to get it right this time. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you
Oh,
so
look.
much. I have never heard that song in my life.
It's a great song.
Okay.
Yes. And look, I got motivated. I want to get it right this time. So give me a chance. Look, I remember my favorite song. It's called from Dawes Effects. Bum stickity bum, huh? I got the rumpa pump pump. I got the fee fight, a fold diddly dump. Here I come, so Peter Piper. I hyper than Pinocchio Snow, cause I got super califragilistic tic tac toe. I got the oopsie daisy. Now you got the crazy with the bum schooly goo. Where's the gravy? Cause 1, 2, I'm buckle my. I'm shoot yabba doo hippity hoop crack a boost and trick or treat. Smell my feet and the ribbon drop the hit. Smooth to go on mark. Come mark on spit cause Butcher boy's about to get his skit. My bully boy about to get his stick. My waist bone connected to my hip bone connected to my thigh bone connected to my knee bone connected to my hottie ha. The jibber jabbing at your funny bone. Skip the Ovaltine. I'd rather have my honeycomb. It's perfectly a sesame. Speak about it, then some. Dun, 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 dun.
I know that one. All right. Yes, I have so many favorite songs that is
Oh, I
hard.
can't wait.
That is hard. But one of my favorite songs, I always wanted to sing, but I never sang because I was scared to sing. I thought people would laugh at me. Then it dawned on me, but fool, that's what you do for a living. And this one was made famous by a comedian, well, a comedic actor. And he said, come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What you see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want, do it. You want to change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. And that's my song I
Yay!
wanted to sing. Anthony Newley wrote that for Willy Wonka, and Gene Wilder sang it in the movie. And then
Amazing.
Lou Rawls covered it, and that's my favorite version. But I've had so much fun tonight. It was worth going through the rest of the day just to get here to spend time
Yay.
with you. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh, sing a song. And I hope next week when we do it again, we can have as much fun. We have to thank Lacretta for staying up and joining us,
Woohoo!
spending time with us, letting us get to know her. And I will see. Before I go, I want to talk about a trip I took. I took Angie to San Francisco for her birthday a year ago, and we went to the Museum of the African American Diaspora. It's an art museum, and they have all these young artists and different artists showing their works, and it's a gallery, and it was a really interesting Black History Museum in that it has had a whole different vibe than most of the others that we went to. And that's one of the things that I hope to promote when we talk about these museums is how rich the culture is that they display and that they curate. It's just not spoken of, so we tend to think it doesn't exist. But just like you can sing a ballad written by Smokey Robinson and or another one sung by Nat Cole, and then the Das Effects rap, and the whole uh, scope of the culture is far more rich than we often get a chance to see. And I encourage everyone to do whatever you can. It's a great family outing. If you're looking for things to do with the kids and that are a little older and too old to take to the playground, but you want to spend time with them, go to a Black History Museum. And you don't have to be Black. And you don't have to limit yourself to Black history. There are all different kinds of Native American history and just so much culture and experience that makes you better just for being exposed to it. So I hope you all will donate and visit anytime you can. I hope you will sing. I hope you sing. I hope you dance. I love that song. I don't care who sings it. I hope you dance. I hope you uh, sing a song and that you always keep a song in your heart and good friends and family nearby. Thank you for joining us. And here's to
Don't
you.
forget to comment
Oh,
or
yes, please. I always forget that.
or
Please
subscribe.
join us. Tell your friends. Talk about us. Send notes. And if you didn't enjoy the show, invite people you don't like. Just tell them to come spend time with us.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
And all the Trump supporters.
Oh no, 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 no,
Come on
no.
down. Come
No,
on
we're
down.
no,
We're converters over here.
we're strictly Kamala mamas and papas and whoever you prefer. Be sure you register to vote and vote.
Yes.
Your vote does matter. That one
Yes.
vote, can make a difference. If only
Yes.
2 people vote,
If two.
your vote could have made all the difference. So don't ever think that that it's just something to do. People fought and protested and stuck stuff up their nose, and they were turned away at the courthouse door and made to do all kind of stupid things to try to exercise their right as American citizens. So please take advantage of it. You have a right to like, love, dislike anything you feel, but you cheat us all if you don't exercise your rights. So again, thank you. Comment, share, like, come back, and let us know how you feel. Maybe we can hang out with some more of my friends and find out more stuff about them that make us all feel better. Thank you again. Thank you, my sons. I love you madly.
Love you back, man.
Next week.
She got a way, no one can do it like that. Her own style, no one can wear that hat. Hey, don't you know that the queen is back? She's back, she's back. She withstands the test of time. When it comes to strength, she comes to mind. Knock her down, she gets back up again and again. I'm talking about Marsha.